The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome to Hallmark of Greatness Last Orders, the podcast where we look back into the films our Hallmark favourite actors and directors would rather forget they were ever involved with. I'm Joe, and with me as always, dancing round in his hobnail boots with the rest of the toothless simpletons, it's James.
Are you the toothless simpletons?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. I come out of that.
To be sure, yeah.
Gummy Joe.
And, as you've just heard, he's wielding planks of wood while fighting the tap-dancing robot crew. It's Planty! Because that was the
I'm
last
off
one
to
we did.
Arizona in a nice new house somewhere, which also means being murdered. Was it Arizona? It was somewhere.
New Mexico.
New Mexico.
But yeah. It's always, it's just flat and desert,
Either way, it's lies, and I've been murdered. It's fine.
Is he phoning in on a ghost phone? See how it all links? If you want to keep up to date with upcoming film choices and that, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark of Great, all one word, or you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Or if you choose to believe that the films that we watch for this aren't late night Channel 5 Shannon Tweed L-shaped duvet fodder and want to recommend an actual good film to us, you can email us at hallmarkofgreatness@gmail.com.
Please.
The reason we got right, you messaged us the other day, said, "How did we get to this?" It's the director.
It's Fred Olen Ray. Yeah.
It's not though. I mean, we've done other films, but not that recently. Like I could have
We started with Dinosaur Island.
And we should have stopped there.
Yeah. I mean, at least Dinosaur Island had both dinosaurs and an island. This
had two components of a film.
Wait, there's no Kane in Citizen Kane. But this had space and a slammer. In case you were wondering, boys and girls, this week's film is 1986's, or 84's, or 83's, I think. Star Slammer: The Escape, or what was it? Space Jail was the other title.
Oh, I've got them all at the end.
Oh, okay. But yes, 1986's Star Slammer: The Escape. I mean, it came up. It was on Amazon because we were struggling to find something because it's been a while since we did it, and the last one was with Mono and Kira, and so I was like, this was like Amazon recommended for you, and I was like, okay, this looks terrible. How little I knew.
I'd like to say, Joe, you've absolutely fucked my Amazon algorithm, but you haven't. You fucked another profile on your Amazon.
I was going to say, are you paying for it? Shut up then, right?
You have fucked yet a further profile because some of the recommended films after this are very outlandish.
Yeah, Super Vixens 5, The Cheerleader and the Stoned Zombie. Yeah, a lot of... it's fine. No, because I was like, who's this on here now? And I was like, it's funny, so we can watch the films for the thing.
I love the fact that you've made Harvey sound like a female character out of Monty Python.
Oh, that's my default lady voice. My default grumpy lady voice.
It's not a difference between crab and a stick of butter.
She does not like spam. Right. Anyway, before we enter that though, let's fire up the synopsis matron.
Wow, Jagger rats everywhere. That is the flippant action contrivance of tomorrow. And it's run out of sandalwood, so we've had to create diverse income streams to funnel some more of that to it. Which is why we're sponsored by 7-ounce ribeye steak today. 7-ounce ribeye steak. Other people do. I got that off of Traffic Matrix. Yeah, it said Star Slammer, 1986. Honoria Starr is an isolated insurance fraudster who ends up having to win a beauty pageant she's been entered into against her will, or else a dark secret will surface. Things really get going when Honoria meets Dennis Slammer, an irritable stockbroker who doesn't like coffee or Norwegians. Events take a turn when local hoodlums begin circling with their two-strokes and the pair must become as thick as thieves. Will they form a cheesy daytime made-for-TV film including Christmas, Easter, Halloween and differing versions of warm, sunny climate to be always able to pose for dodgy pictures or even better, loads of not quite good portrait artists? Most likely. And thank you to whoever put that in.
The colour of James's face in that long sentence with no punctuation there. Again,
and that's brought to you by 7-ounce ribeye steak. Other people do.
Other people do. If I ever had the genitalia, I would be called Dennis Slammer. The actual synopsis for this, and reading it now, it's full of straight out of the gate. 2 women who have been unjustly confined to a prison planet plot their escape, all the while having to put up with lesbian guards, crazed wardens, and mutant rodents. It's a spaceship.
There's only one lesbian.
Yeah, there's only
warden.
one. Yeah,
That is
and
my
there's
main
only-
fault with this.
Anyway, yeah, I've got so many problems with this.
It's good though, because if you ever need to drain pasta in an emergency, you could use your eye patch. That's what I spent a lot of my time thinking. Let's get into this. First of all, World Entertainment Network.
Worldwide entertainment, right? So many
yes.
lies in that alone.
We've come across that before. I'm sure it's probably in Dinosaur Island or Alien.
Their jingle is the most patriotic thing for whatever country you live in. And then we get. It took me a long while to figure out what this intro was about, because it's the names of everyone, and then these like beams coming across, and I was like, "Oh, right, that's quite cool." And I'm
it's
like,
sort of sub Star Trek music, isn't it?
I was like, "Is this Indiana Jones?"
I thought it was from a solicitor's program in the 80s, like, I don't know, Crown Court or Juliet Bravo or something.
I mean, John Williams was on the phone, wasn't he? Like on to his solicitors at some point. And this just change the one note at the end, and it's fine, which is all John Williams does anyway. But
there's a bit before the titles where there's a woman getting space leeches put on
she's
her
getting
by a
leached
dominatrix
by sexy Snake Plissken, fancy dress lady.
Oh, and there's one of those things that Chewbacca hoofs as well, like them little robots.
The little mouse droid type thing.
Yeah.
This one talks, but the subtitles, there was no subtitles, so I really fucking struggled to know what it was saying.
I think
it's I've got it down as the toaster from Red Dwarf crossed with a direct line phone.
The Crumpet, anybody?
It's voiced by the director, Fred Olen Ray.
Of course it is.
So I missed nothing, is what you're saying.
I think it said, it comes in and it said, Torture Program 7 is finished. Now Torture Program 8 begins, or something. Because that guy comes in like he's doing a Catholic mass with all that incense in a big thing, whipping that around, doesn't he?
You can tell this was the 80s because they've still got coal. They bring some coal in, don't they? Fucking Thatcher.
What was that? 4 minutes? It's a new record.
Who had plenty saying fucking Thatcher on the cards?
That's the middle square on the bingo card. That's a free one. It took me a while to realize they were leeches. I thought it was just bad special effects of like her just being cut or something. But yeah, she puts these leeches on and then pulls one off and eats it, which I don't.
Well, it's got jam all over it. Of course you would.
Oh, they've just got them out of the ear of Paul. What's his name in Wrath of Khan?
Oh, see, Harvey's watching all of Grey's Anatomy again to punish me. And there's a bit in that where they put him on a guy who's had skin grafts because apparently it increases blood flow or something to them.
Because Grey's Anatomy 1603. Is that what it is?
No, medical leeches are still a thing. If you've if you had your fingers,
it's not your first go-to, is it?
Stop it.
Yeah,
you don't do that at the GP. You go down to the GP. Oh, I have several.
I don't know, mate. I live in the very far north.
Yeah, his doctor still believes in the 4 humours. Like there's
phrenology in my doctor.
Yeah. Walking around the town in his plague hood. Yeah, she's that. And then we get this intro, with the subpar Star Wars, Indiana Jones, LA Law style music, and it took me so long to also a lot of people in this film. The credits go on.
There's interesting names in this as well.
Oh yes, Johnny, don't call me John Legend.
Right, yeah. So that was what I discovered shortly before we started recording this about that dispute. John Carradine as well.
Yep. I got slightly excited and thought, "Ooh, kung fu," and I was like, "No, that's the other one."
Oh, sexy strangle wank man. No, this is his dad. I think. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, right.
Yeah. So it's an active dynasty. It's an active dynasty of strangle wanks.
If that's how his dad died, like Bruce Lee's demon, like just stay away from ropes if you're in the Carradine family.
Wardrobes.
And then we get Adventures of Tora, Prison Ship, Star Slammer.
Yeah,
all at once. Pick a name. Come on.
But the names have been. This thing has been spelling out Star Slammer in like a BBC micro green font thing. It's of the time. It was quite
around
cool. Retro. Yes, look around. It's very
much.
Synthesizer Patel.
That's right. Today we're doing space. And my heart sank because the first thing that came up after that is Chapter 1, Death on Planet Arouse.
Chapters are back!
No.
Yeah, but they are until they aren't.
There's 4 chapters.
Was
And-
there?
yeah,
Oh, I
which is
must
not a
have
plot
fallen
structure.
asleep. Yeah.
The classic
It should be
4-act
5
structure.
acts. Yeah.
Uh,
And they get they're increasingly long. Like the space between them it's like Half-Life.
But I
the
think
opposite.
we got too giddy with the chapters in the Kevin Sorbo one that were, some of them were 12-second long chapters and some of them were the rest of the film long. Like, it's, at least this has a structure. Planet Aurus or Arus? Adus? Yeah.
Horrors?
And we open on Amish Catweasel.
Non-Union Gandalf, yeah.
Yeah, it's the hat. He's got an Amish hat
Yeah.
on. And I was like,
Yes.
and he's got a prop.
Tis no barn, English.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
got a
he's
prop.
got a staff with PlayStation button symbols
Yeah.
daubed on it.
Yes.
But like, it's not. But it's a piece of perspex that someone scratched with the keys, like youths do on the train. Like,
Yeah. They've done one of those S's.
oh, that would have been good if you'd done an old S. And he's walking through Planet Aurus.
Or the Orange County Hills.
I was going to say it's where a lot of these alien planet things for stuff get shot. It looks very similar to
It
Nether.
looks arid.
Nether
It
Zone,
looked like
yeah.
it was one barbecue away from a major fire incident. Like
Uh,
you see all these people coming out of. So they've got 2 lads with saucepans on their heads coming
Yeah,
out of the
Oh,
undergrowth.
the dinks
like
from
cracking in
Spaceballs.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, God, Time Bandits has gone off the rails, hasn't it? Yeah.
How far away are they?
Yeah, well, there's that. But again, they do that thing of like making them sound like Smurfs,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, all right, okay. But they follow him and then they're jumping from behind hedges, and I'm like, what's going on here? And then eventually, there's a lot of really awkward running in this, especially from the women, right? And that's nothing
Yeah.
against women. Like, women can run. Paul
Hang on a
they
second.
make
I'm
up
just
the
going to make a
majority.
note of this. Women can run. Got you.
Joe says
They make up the
it's
majority
okay
of
for
the
women.
Everything in this was just slightly off. Like, so Zal, this priest with the PlayStation symbol on his staff, he affects a thick Bulgarian accent for some reason. And then we just get him go, I come in peace. My name is Zal.
I think that's just how he talks.
Yeah, it's just weird. And
Like
nobody's
Bobcat
standing for
Goldthwait
it.
on sedatives. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a futuristic woman who looks a bit like, and I can't remember the actor's name, but Buffy's mum. Like her, it looks a bit like her.
A little bit, yeah.
Tora, she's got her own hovercraft and everything, and the saucepan lads are workers. Apparently, and they're
I believe they're natives of the planet that she's hired to mine crystals
yes,
or something,
But with acid.
but with acid.
With acid.
Leg disabled. But he has come. He is a missionary priest of
To get donations.
to get
something.
donations because
It's
they're
It's like have a bucket of jewels, but don't touch them. They're still covered in acid.
yeah. Also, here's some food that we call, was it shit pipe or something? She said.
shit
Yes.
hot. I got written
Oh.
down.
Shit something. Yeah.
I got my shit pipe.
But he does the classic, what is this delicacy called? And I was like, oh, fuck about. It's not even the worst line in this film as well.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh,
no!
there's one later on I had to pause it and go, someone cleared that. Someone was like, and then we get a future car as well.
I was excited by the future.
I
car.
love a future car.
I was
Yeah.
really, really looking forward to seeing Elon Musk get out of this.
It's
you know,
tax
just the
collecting scum.
Is that what they were doing? They were tax collecting.
The tax collectors. Gets all
must-
biblical at this point.
Oh,
Wow.
right. On the road to
Um,
Arus.
Did this not come across? Yeah, they.
No,
so they're
because he
illegally
gets
mining.
out. He gets out and he goes, "Is there any sport on this planet?" So I think they were just fucking about.
Yeah, I
I
think
thought he
he's
was
just a
dead.
bit like that.
I thought they were like, I don't know, like doing like hunting the fucking like the one thing
dinks.
they should never hunt, humans
Yeah.
or whatever they are.
So this is Bantor stepping out of the hovercraft, who's a magistrate for the sovereign. There's a science officer, Krago, who looks a bit like the Joker and Captain Sensible in one body. And there's the ZZ Top Goon, whose name I never really got, but has really long silvery hair.
Edgar Winter and his massive forehead. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a mask on, hasn't he? Yeah. And then there's just like loads of supporting goons in American
Two
football
random
gear
goons
that
who are with them
sprayed
as well.
chrome.
Yeah. It's good.
But yeah, they're illegally mining on this planet, and they're there to confiscate everything from them.
Right, okay. That kind
It does matter. But
I remember Tora saying something about, oh, they came last time and took half of our stash. Let's go and put a tarp over it. They won't find it. And I was like, all right, space tarp, innit?
Yeah, this whole bunch of characters gave me a real kind of, hey, Fred, we've run out of space bounty hunter outfits, but we have got a spare Hollywood from mannequin suit. Yeah, that'll do.
No, because he's like Otho in Beetlejuice, isn't he? He's like the advisor to him. I think that's what he's supposed to be.
Yeah,
but
and yeah,
he just looked like Needles in Back to the Future too. Like, the best character in it, as far as I'm concerned, because there isn't any other characters.
The only character. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I can't wait until we get introduced to 5,000 inmates later on.
Mate, during the initiation of Ruffy, or whatever it was called.
They advance on Zal, who's alone caressing the crystals after previously being told not to do that. And he says, we have a saying in the Tao, a man that gives into evil unlocks the door to his own asylum. And honestly, that is accurate.
That is a tremendous impression. That is. If there was money to be made of like a cameo for Johnny Legend's leaving voicemails for people, Joseph isn't in. It's kind of like Vincent Price and that guy from The Simpsons. Like,
it's true.
And he goes, "Oh no, we'll just take your crystals. You can come and get them anytime you want, though." And then again, laser effects. They shoot him with a laser, and Mr. Film dissolves him. But later on, the same gun
was good.
But later on, the same gun shoots people in the head. I just wanted to point out that, like, inconsistencies in laser technology.
Different settings.
Yeah.
Stun, kill, limp. Yeah, I forget. They shoot two. They go and run after the dinks. Shoot two of them. And then Tora's like, "I've had enough of this. I'm gonna get this tinfoil on a stick." And she ambushes one of them and stabs him in the head. She jumps into a crag, and we don't see her kill the other one because I'm assuming there was nobody. Like, he had to go early.
I like the crags. I thought it set up a broad cinematography for the film.
You were just like, this is as close to Scree as we've been in a while. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's true.
I like the music in this bit. It was just one sting, one like 4-second sting over and over and over again.
Yep. I hope James has got a fact about that because I found something out about it.
Oh, no, go on.
Oh, apparently the music for this a lot of it is cobbled from jingles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. That's why a lot of it is really
sense.
loops and stuff because it's just like 7459494 mortgage point. Yeah. It's,
while there's a Western standoff going on, you're like, this isn't right.
It's just
so she goes around plonking people. She pops up out of a boulder hole to get somebody else as well.
Yeah.
And then she goes to get Bantor, and a bit of tinfoil on a stick gets stuck on a tree.
Yep.
It's like, how did that happen?
She swings, and because Bantor's such a good fighting man, despite the fact he's like a goth Michelin man as well, because there's a lot of puffed up foam on his jacket. Yeah, they end up rolling around on the ground. One of her boobs comes out, because of course. And then like Forehead comes round the corner, like briefly distracts Bantor, I think, and she puts his hand into some acid, which is also jam. Because he goes, you bitch! And he's got a jammy hand. Yeah. I was like, that's not how acid works.
It's how jam works, though.
It is.
Oh no, you've stuck my hand in jam.
Shall I lick Mummy's finger? Yeah. And that's like that's as much of the film is on location. The rest of this is set in like 2 rooms and a corridor, which is fine. She is being transported. Well, we get a floating head saying for the crime of murdering 2 dwarfs and some guys from
and giving him a jam hand.
Giving him a jam hand and killing 2 members of that 80s band that I can't remember the name of now, that used to wear the tights on their heads. You are sent to it'll come Zig Sputnik. There you go.
Oh, very good.
I'll edit that in. You were sentenced to 7 years on the prison ship. What was it?
Yeah, but it changes its name 3 times. It's called something different all the time. Yeah.
I think when sexy Carol Vorderman speaks to
Sexy
yeah,
Carol
that's
Vorderman.
right.
when she speaks to the sovereign, I'm sure she calls it something else.
Yeah.
I think she calls it terrorance or something. I'm not going back to rewatch it. You are sentenced to 7 years on the ship with multiple names until your sentence is served or you die. Whichever is first.
Whichever comes first. Yeah, and then that's the end of that man. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's John Carradine.
That's the end of him. I assume
Chapter
because he
2.
died during that.
Star Slammer.
Yeah,
This is the film now.
Yeah.
And,
Air horn. Name of the film. Possibly.
Sort of.
This is where we discover it's a woman's prison. So prisoner Space Block H or something.
Yep. Yeah. She is being carried in on like a space gurney. And they
which is just a gurney, really, isn't it?
But they've wrapped some tin foil around it and put a dangly pipe. Like, it's fun. I quite like the set design of this because it looks like a shitty spaceship. It looks like not fully alien sort of spaceship, but you know, it's still better than. There's not all beeping lights and stuff. Which they prop her up in a room of the rest of the cast of this film. She wakes up and is like, oh. And then we're introduced to Vivian's mum from The Young Ones.
The head of the gang, Mike.
Which is confusing.
She says that Tora's been drugged with synthamorph, which is addictive. I thought this was going to play a massive role in the film, but it's never brought up again.
No.
I'm calling muster, which means everyone introduces themselves nastily.
Oh, was that what it was? Muster? I thought she said Buffy or something. Yeah.
So it's what you do in the Game of Thrones game to get more soldiers.
This is where this is where, of course, we meet Bombor, Gloin, Bofor, Oin, Ori. Fucking hell.
Many.
What a bunch of unnecessary characters.
No, they're great. My favourite one is Scratch. That's what she does. One of them comes
Scratch
over
is in no other film. I thought I'd look up all of them because I was fairly certain that they're not going to get a good treatment out of this.
Oh, they're fine. Again, they're
all right, but as a collective, no. There's KK, who punishes her in the stomach. She later won an award for a documentary about an artist, so she's still filmmaking.
KK is only her first name. Her surname is K.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is. I mean, look,
the Krusty Comeback special.
That's exactly it.
Marnie, who gives her a little boop on the nose.
Yeah,
I was Marley. I've written Marley. I assume that she died of a twisted stomach.
Oh, because they're all doing this, and is it Squeaker or Squeak or Squitty or something? Is round the corner going, don't do it, because she's already injured. I'm like, only one person hits her. The rest of them just kind of caress her face.
Yeah,
they do lots of different things. Yeah, so Marnie went on to be a novelist and a filmmaker. Ruby is next. That's one of the 2 films that she's in, so nothing much about her. Scratch, who doesn't, is in no other film. Stace, who throttles her, she was also in Empire of the Dark, just a sort of bit role. A bit of a crossover there. Adrian, prisoner 536, who killed her parents and small green things. I don't understand that. Yeah.
A big box of them. The other things that go neep, neep, neep. Yeah, big box of them.
That's what she was sentenced for, I think. Killing small green things.
Again, like they've tried to give these women characters, but
there's so many of them. It
was a very
Squeaker, and then there's Mike, who punches her in the face and says that she's probably a spy. And Mike, she still does bits and pieces. So it's sort of half and half people that went on to do stuff and people who tried this and thought, not for me.
You can tell the ones that were like, they're on a beach and he was like, Fred Holt was like, come and be in a film. And then there's ones who were actually like proper It's the same as Dinosaur Island. It's some of them were acting and some of them were there for boobies.
Anyway, Muffler.
Not much your James.
Sam the Muff Klaxon.
Please tell me we've got one keyed up.
No, Sam. Muff. Because we're introduced
Muffin. Yeah.
Again, right? The names. Mike, okay, could be short for Michaela or whatever. I've never met. There's a guy who goes to GCW wrestling shows, who's known as Muffin, but it's not his real name. Like, Muffin, who is the guard?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
sort of a prisoner who's serving out a time by shortened a sentence by
Is it?
putting the
Wow,
sort of like
I got none of that.
I got none of that. I thought she was like the guard, and then the other one was like the warden, and then everyone else was like non-union sandpeople.
Well, that's why she's so intense, because she really wants it to work so she can get out early.
Oh, okay.
So she's been given her own truncheon, which she uses phallically throughout.
She
And
does
she's
a
got
lot of
two
truncheon groin
absolute-
action.
Yeah, two absolutely useless goons. All the goons in this are useless.
Oh, it's not even the most useless goon yet.
No.
Oh, it's the best bit. That's why another one I had to pause and just go, did that happen? Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know which
yeah,
bit you mean now. So Muffin is Dawn Wildsmith, and that's the director's wife, who was also in Alienator and Empire of the Dark. But again,
okay.
I don't think she had major roles in either one. But she was pretty good. She's really good.
chewing the scenery in this. Yeah, it's
She's doing big I am acting.
big panto evil villain acting. Yeah. And she's pretty good. I enjoyed her bits because there's a lot of there's a lot of name calling in this, sluts and all this sort of stuff, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's strange, but yeah. Mike says that when Muffin's not around, she's in charge. I'm like, all right. There's no other people in this prison. Like,
In charge
you're
of
either
what?
in this gang or you're not. Like, it's
Sit down and do your whittling. You know, it's what I'd be doing anyway. Anyway, Muffin's like, go and see the warden, Exene. And this is when she says that she's so her role is head trustee, which to my mind means like a sort of voluntary role where you take part in the governance of an organization. But anyway, what do I know? She's got a gammy eye because of a prisoner fight. So she's got a eye
how
patch.
does he know all this? Oh, he watched it. That's why.
Yeah, she says, I do you know how I got this? I was given this by blah 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 flim flam, and then she takes it off and it's show us the gross hair for your face.
Yeah.
No, that's the Inquisitor later on.
No, but she's also yes, well, it's just
Who had
it's
that
just
on Mark's
full of
bingo card, by the way?
gross halves and faces. Yeah.
And this
they
is
go
where
into what? It's Exene. They go into her quarters and she's busy watching a hologram fight.
fucking this.
So I thought that this was a tag team of a small boy in a lucha mask. And then a big guy. And for some reason, the small boy raises his hands and hits the guy. And then they have a fight. But she doesn't enjoy that for some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think it was supposed to be futuristic. That's all I can say. But it's nice to see that lucha still exists in the future.
Absolutely.
Future lucha. Yeah.
Do you like movies about gladiators?
It was bewildering because I was like, this serves no purpose. Like, they could have put a bit of a claymation, like the chessboard on the Millennium Falcon thing there. That'd have been better. But yeah, she's disgusted by that, and we're introduced to Warden Exene, who is, as we've said, sexy Carol Vorderman, or just Carol Vorderman.
She's a bit, again, she's another character who's a bit off in everything she does.
Yeah,
I honestly think that she must have had a stroke during the middle of this. It's weird. It's all slurry, and like she's not looking directly at the camera most of the time.
Well, you're not supposed to be looking at the camera, like.
But bits where she is.
I feel like they got her out of a bar somewhere.
Yeah,
like they pulled her out of a trailer and she'd done a quart of vodka. Well, I don't know how much that is.
Quarter of a bottle. So
is it all right? Yeah. Okay, I always wondered about that.
Quarter of a liter, I'm assuming.
6 cups or something.
Yeah, I think she was just hammered. Like,
I mean, whatever it takes to get you through it, I suppose. But Muffin says, "Here's your shortbread Pop-Tart as requested." Like, what is this futuristic language?
Again, Pop-Tarts still exist. So 2 things that have carried over into the future world: Mexican masked wrestling and pastry tarts that are fucking horrible. But
arguably the 2 best things.
Yeah.
Well, you can put them in that mobile toaster as it goes around, can't you?
Oh, you could. She says, "What a sweet young fish." What?
Yeah. Again, it's kind of like he went, right, well, I've read A Clockwork Orange, and, you know, the mix of, like, gibberish in that. We'll try to do that, but just incomprehensibly switch words out for other words.
No time for the old in out. I'm here to read the meter.
Yeah. Also, right, think none of this is, like, prison attire. Like, because she's dressed like Mrs. Whiplash, like, as a reference.
I haven't thought of that Mrs.
I don't get it.
a long time. I thought she was dressed like Dave Chance's sister.
Oh, I literally watched that after this episode. To
Wow.
Yeah, Dave Chance's sister. Yeah, and isn't this when like Muffin bashes her in the crotch with the baton?
Yeah, possibly.
Yes.
There's a lot of caressing of the prisoner. The warden says that Bantor is about the one who she turned his hand into jam earlier, and he's pissed at her. So don't fuck it up, sort of thing. And then Dora Marsha's off, and she has to snap her fingers for the guards to follow her because they're that useless.
Again, they're sand people. They march single
They
file.
are sand people. I have put that at some
Non-union sand people, yeah.
Of course they didn't have a union.
But they're also robots as well later on, as it turns out. So,
there's a cable comes out of one of them's heads. Yeah, what?
Anyway, we get to lunchtime at the refectory.
This guy, I love this guy, the cook.
Oh, Pinhead from Hellraiser serving the dinner. I can show you such culinary delights.
As blue.
I thought it was like pesto or something.
No, it was green, wasn't it? Oh, it was green, and she said it was purple.
It was purple
yesterday.
the day before. So what happens with the first one? Because she barges in, so she wants the first one. Does she get the crust from whatever it is? That big lump of something. And she's like, I don't want to eat that.
Yeah. She says, this is yesterday's food, and then takes it in. And it looks like sag paneer, but like aggressive sag paneer. They sit down to eat it. They're playing chess,
Yeah.
One of the prisoners has sharpened her edge of her plate.
Oh wow! And this pays off later. This is my favourite bit.
Who throws a shoe?
I absolutely love Chekhov's plate.
Oh yeah. I was like, as soon as the edge is razor sharp now, I'm like, someone's getting their head lopped off with that in a bit.
I've been grinding it down every chance I get. Well, you've got to relieve the tension somehow in this place.
In an all-women's prison, it's bound to happen.
The original title of this was going to be Plate Humpers, but...
there's also TV in this prison as well, because they do a bit at this point.
Not only have they got their own TV with the warden doing a bit about stopping the oxygen.
I liked this. I thought this was funny. This reminded me of the express lift in Red Dwarf. Like, it was just like...
I just thought it was what they do in Andor to electrocute.
Well...
Very much like
that.
Yeah,
which is like, in case I forget and turn the oxygen off in your cell, a thing will drop, a mask will drop, but that won't have any oxygen in it anyway. So I don't know. I don't know. That's quite funny.
That was probably the closest I got to a laugh. And then they've got their own game show.
Yeah, the rehab game.
Wow.
I don't know why it's called that.
Yeah, but why is this? Why is the Grand Inquisitor in rehab? I thought it must be because he's got a scabby face. But no, he's had the scabby face since he was a child when he murdered things.
Yeah,
he's hosted by somebody called Monty Martian, and I could not find that person in the credits, so I don't know who that was.
Again, he was there for a day, and I think he probably was someone. Because
get in the sleeping bag and do a game show thing.
It's my yoga bag. But no, he was clearly reading it off cards as well, because you can see his eyes going across. But yeah, the Inquisitor, who
I liked this. I did like this.
It was the Running Man, weren't it? Essentially,
absolutely.
It's Inquisitor 13, a new torturer who, when he was 13, won a chicken trophy that could feature in the next quiz. His favourite colours are brown and grey.
Yep.
And he's got a melted face. It's Aldo Ray.
He got the trophy for, I believe, killing 10,000 Blurgons or something.
Yeah,
they said something in 10 minutes. And I'm like, and she got sent to prison for crushing little green things. Patriarchy still exists.
That's right, yeah, exactly. I assume that the Daily Express are writing pieces about what a cushy prison this is, but they've got their own telly.
Their own telly, they've got
and their own TV show.
Yeah. I think it's because I think the torture is supposed to be a way of rehabbing them.
Oh, right.
I think that was what the joke was supposed to be. But
wishing you a fun, good day and praises to the sovereign, it says as it goes on.
And then he's like, "Where's the check? Because I'm fucking out of here."
For fun, good day, you get nothing, mate.
One of the Inquisitor's favourite things is space surfing, and we get this little shot of a guy on a rocket out in space. It's just a very quick flash of this picture.
And I was like, is that from the Roger Corman Fantastic Four film? Is there like a shit Silver Surfer in that? There wasn't, but yeah. Again, I'm fairly sure James has it all, but I think a lot of the space stuff is just cobbled from other B movies and that. Because
I don't have the films that they were referencing, but yes, that happened a lot. It happened a lot with Fred Olen Ray. He just cannibalized his own stuff.
Oh yeah,
willfully
but it's very what the dub. A lot of the films that this is clearly ripped from. Yeah.
So they also mentioned Dr. Poe at this point. So there's yet another inmate. Well, it's like a doctor.
Is she an inmate?
I wondered why she was having dinner with them. I just assumed that they'd only got one set, and it's true, they've only got one set.
She's
her
the
only
doctor,
other
but they
film
think
credit.
She's a spy for the warden.
Yeah,
it's
but
not
not
one
sure
of
whether she's
you
that.
main people. It's not
Or the
bingo
underground.
because there's an underground that never pays off. Yeah.
Yeah. So her only other film credit is as running woman in The Wizard of Speed and Time, 1989.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, he's a wizard of speed and time?
Surely you only need to be one of those.
No, he can do
equal
both.
distance, I believe.
Yeah. We're going to call it the Wizard of Distance, but Johnny Long wasn't available. I thought she was like the doctor to keep them alive longer for more torturing. I don't know.
Possibly,
never explained.
Possibly.
Because she's got a lab.
Yeah, and she creates nasty things.
And never interacts with the other people. She's just sitting there reading two pieces of paper alternately.
So Tora comes in and sits down with her own bowl of pesto. Everyone's just staring at her. And then Mike literally opens a can of worms and tells her to eat it. You eat it. But throws water in her face.
No, and then Tora goes, no, you
worms.
eat it. And I'm like, this is good banter.
Good banter.
Not Commander banter. He's someone else.
Okay.
And then Tora throws water in her face. And then we get fight. So much strangling. A lot of lady strangling.
You to record that fight, because it is just women going fight.
But they're not infused at all.
No.
It must have been a long day to get this level of fight choreography right. They must, a lot of strangling, not as much hair pulling as I thought you were going to get with it, like being that kind of film. But I like the fact that Tora fights like a 1920s gentleman boxer. She's like, yeah. And there's some punches to the
throttling.
There's punches to the face. She throws her onto a table, which I thought was quite good.
With plates. And I thought, is this where the sharpened plate comes into play? No. Waiting for that. It's going to pay
Again,
off.
hold your horses, because when it happens,
boy, and I'd completely forgotten it was there.
I was just like, she just carries that plate around with her all the time, like Alan Partridge.
You got your sharp plate.
Got your sharp plate, Alan. Yes. The fight goes on and on. She hits her in the face with some mashed potato. So why are they all eating the green when there's mashed potato available? Consistency. And then Muffin comes in and is like, "Who?" And the warden, isn't it? Because there's nothing to do on this ship as well. Like,
there's only 3 lasses.
No, there's like 7. There was Crotch, Marley and the Twisted Stomach. Yeah,
Roland. Yeah,
Roland. Danny Kendall's there. And she's like, who's responsible for this? And no one says anything. And I was like, okay, that was a thing that happened. They take Mike and Tora and put them in future stocks.
Yeah, because we're in chapter 3, Arena of Death.
Arena of Death, which I'm fairly sure. Is that not where the man fought? Is in the center, Journey to the Center of the Earth thing we did?
Oh yeah.
Oh god, everything we watch has got an Arena of Death in it.
Are you sad about that?
No, but I was disappointed by the Arena of Death on this occasion.
It was not as deathy as I wanted.
No, it gets very Monty Python now because the punishment is a spanking in the stocks.
Yeah.
They put them in future stocks, which is just stocks near some pipes. Is that what she was doing? Because she was like, Carol Vorderman's watching with her whip that she's got. She's doing a lot of whip acting. And she was, let the punishment begin. And Muffin just disappears around the back. And then, like, Tora just starts going, ugh. And I was like, ugh, what's going on here?
There are little whip sounds.
Are there?
You don't get the whip
I couldn't
effects.
hear that.
No, I didn't get that either.
No, but
it is the same sound effect over and over again. It's not even like slightly different whip sounds.
Oh, like the Jesus Christ Superstar where Jesus is getting lashed. 42. But
yeah, Muffin goes behind because she says, "Let's get to the seat of the problem." I was like, "Is that a phrase?"
Yeah, as in, yeah.
Is it a phrase? To the seat of the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's very tortured. Yeah,
30 seconds of whipping and then they're allowed out. You get worse in public schools, mate.
Well, I think Tora's the one that get any because Mike didn't do anything. Mike was just like watching, and I think it was just And they're like released. And this was my favourite bit. 2 sand guards come over. One guy lifts up this bit of styrofoam that's holding in place, and then they put it back down, and the other guy just walks off.
Yeah,
that was his job. Was just supervisor,
Show
stock supervisor.
It's a health and safety thing, isn't it? He's there to like make sure if there's any risk assessment nonsense.
He's there to make sure Bobby. He's there to make sure Bobby Davro doesn't get injured.
Oh, fucking hell, yes. Mum, I'm in a film. Yeah, I'm playing a guard. What do you do? Stand. It's beautiful. They bring him out and they're like, right, now, arena of death time, because otherwise this bit doesn't make any sense. Oh, fucking hell. And I thought she was going to make them fight each other to the death. Like,
yeah.
Because that would have been funny.
But it's better than that.
No, now we...
Did everyone catch this character's name? Because I didn't. It was something. He was just back from playing something.
Oh yeah, it was another good bit, to be honest. Vicious Hunk Hodigan, I've got his name down as. I listened to it about 3 times. I'm sure that's what it was. And there's a fairground music announcement as this happens.
Howdy.
He's the winner of the Intergalactic Heavyweight Championship and star of his own Saturday morning children's TV show. Apparently,
right.
I mean, can you imagine?
He looks like what I imagine the thing in teeth looks like.
It's a bollock with teeth, isn't it?
It looks like it looks like one of those tumors that pull out of people where it's got teeth and hair and stuff.
Yeah.
But we get a good bit of Carnosaur puppet close to camera action.
Yeah. Did you both spot the gentleman behind it pushing it around? There's a little shot where you catch a guy's shoulder pushing it around.
No, I didn't. I was too busy laughing at the same shot of her running to the wall and going, and running to one side again. It happened like 3 times.
And there was 2 or 3 shots of the metal stick that it was attached to as well, which I quite liked. This is where I did a few rewinds to make sure I was seeing those things. Great fun.
Lovely stuff. Big fan of shit puppetry. It looks good. I like the puppet thing. It's just a big worm of teeth, like and 2 like punching tentacles it had. Never used them though. Must be for balance. But yeah, it chases them around for an obscenely long time as well. And then it grabs Mike and he's about to bite her, and Tora rips an electrical wire off the wall, jams it in its mouth, and someone sets a smoke machine off somewhere nearby.
The most lethal licorice whip this side of Tatooine I've written him on it.
And like the warden's like, oh, okay. Like, you've just killed a children's TV star. They put Rod Hull's roof in jail.
Tora goes to shake Mike's hand.
What was he doing on the roof?
It's as though there's going to be like some release of the tension, but Mike's like, no, slaps a hand actually, and then just celebrates on a row.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Oh, because they brought all the prisoners in, but they've chained them neck to wrist, but with quite a long chain, like full extension was possible. Yeah. So I didn't understand that.
Oh, I felt for the prisoners as well, because they were sat on. They made the seating out of the same sort of like meshy, welded girder thing.
Yeah,
their bums are going to look like a waffle iron.
It looked like a bread crate, actually, like a lot of upturned bread crates. Yeah, future, innit? It's a prison. Yeah. It's not holiday camp.
You know what's not in the future though is mobile phones, because Dr. Poe whispers in the warden's ear she's got a call from the Sovereign, and it's Bluetooth to the bridge, so you better go up there. So they're led away. To solitary together.
Yeah,
as far as I can work.
Yeah.
So Mike and Tora.
They put them in these rooms, and there's stuff on the floor, and I didn't understand what the stuff was. It looked like a lot of burnt
debris
stuff. Yeah. I thought they were going to incinerate them or something. Or no, it's just
where the rats live.
Is it? Because anyway,
they're standing in the shadows because it's the Jagger rats.
Armadillo rats. Yeah.
That was the video for that was tremendous of my Mick Jagger impression there.
Hey Keith, where are the shreddies?
These marshmallows. But yeah, they're in this bit, and then we get the phone call between, and it's clearly they're filmed on different days. Like they're not even like, because the odd pauses in the dialogue that happen. The warder and the Sovereign and Lady Sovereign, not the rapper.
No, there's a reference
for nobody. Yeah. And the Sovereign's quite good. Lady Sovereign she's part the dinosaur that kills Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park as well.
She looks like she's in the Hunger Games, isn't she?
Yeah. There's a lot of very good eye makeup and stuff, but it's and they're basically saying, how full is your prison ship? And she's like, oh, not very full. We got rid of 50 girls to what was it?
500 trollops to a whorehouse.
A whole planet, I think she says.
Yeah, a whorehouse planet. That's probably where the next one's set, isn't it? But no wonder that there's only like 7 people.
These were the ones they didn't want.
Exactly.
How? Also, there's no way they could run that thing. 500 women. fucking muffins, the inept sand guards, and sexy Carol Vorderman. It's just no way to run a space prison. Like,
I mean, they could, barely getting by as it is.
It's not super jail.
Sovereign, one of two films that he's in. I thought he did an okay job. He looked a bit like I was going to say an evil Richard Branson, a standard Richard Branson, if you will. She introduces herself and says, "Catal and praises your sovereign. Your thoughts and my duty are one," which made me laugh a little bit. But I'm a child. It's big-wigged, or big-wig. I've got a bit on a little bit later. There's something to do with, because they've sold 500 trollops, they've got space for Bantor and all his special men. But you never see, he's only got those two.
You've got Edgar Winter Forehead, and Needles from Back to the Future too. That's his entourage. The other two are dead. But because since getting jam-handed, he's lost his mind. Because there was a bloodbath on planet Nocturne or something, like, just make up shit only at this point. And so they need to send him somewhere to have a bit of a calm down. And what's more relaxing than a space prison full of women, you know?
They're worried that his massacres will undermine the sovereign's authority and
strengthen the underground.
Intrigue. Yes. The Velvet Underground is gaining in strength. So she says, it shall be done. Dr. Poe is working on a brain immobilizer, but we've yet to see any results. I put, well, it's done a number on you, isn't it?
I just want to know that it's like a brain immobilizer, just one of them big yellow wheels that people put over the steering wheel, just over someone's head.
And then she just says, "Have a happy day before your birthday." Oh, thank you, Exene. That's very nice.
I was like, where's this come from? Also, what was the line said? Clan Dong Thu and welcome or whatever. I like the fact they just tried to make up some stuff. But
Catal, which is, as far as I can make out, is a train station on the Northern Line. Meanwhile,
back in the awesome throne room,
in the dual solitary that's going on, there's a amazing harmonica solo.
Right.
Oh, fucking hell.
I don't know what this was for, right? Because she's scrabbling about and she finds this harmonica, bites it, and then feels her tooth. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's not how that works. And then immediately, fucking Crossroads with Ralph Macchio, just away she goes with this thing. And we get a cutaway, but it goes on way too long.
It does. Yeah.
And also, it's not a good noise, the harmonica, is it?
So here's the thing. Is she really bad at it and supposed to be really good at it? Or is she supposed to be really bad at it? I couldn't quite figure out what this thing's aim was, other than just to pad out the runtime.
Again,
that's exactly it.
Not to be an IMDb person, but apparently, according to that, she did play that bit. She played the harmonica.
Okay, but
it doesn't look like
well
she's
done.
played it.
No, it doesn't. At any point, it looks like it's dubbed over.
Yeah,
the whole time.
But again, harmonica, you spend a lot of time going with your hand, don't you? Anyway, so that covers a multitude of sins. But it's just a bad noise.
Harmonica facts.
I just don't like harmonicas. Folk musicians and men who wear them on bandoliers. That's the two people you avoid, innit?
Can you hear something though, says Tora? It sounded like eek,
and the sound next to me.
And Mike explains that it's Mick Jagger's rats, which are hot water bottles, as far as I can tell.
Oh,
with a little face at the end of it.
Proper like the ones you get from Halloween shops, like the latex foam ones. But she's like, they can. If you put blood on glass, they'll chew through it. I was like, biting glass is not difficult. It's just not. It's frowned upon. And then it was the. It's also funny, she just threw the harmonica away as well. Like, that's enough. I've peaked. I never need to play the harmonica again.
Yeah, so Tora's wrestling with this big puppet in the middle of your face wrestling, which is all very good. She says, "Die, you little son of a bitch." Should have said "rat bastard." It was
it's right there.
It's right there.
I only want to help you, Roland Rat. Well, the necks are like chalk.
Yeah, you just have to snap them, because that's what I think about when I think about chalk.
It's very easy to snap.
It's the most
Mike's
most valuable thing we own, according to that Charles Dance Romanian film.
That was Mike's advice. They've got very weak necks, like chalk, and it's very easy to snap them. She snaps it, and then someone sprays ketchup on her.
Yeah. She doesn't have to get strawberry stirruped.
Got red on you.
Suggests that she's just ripped the head off, doesn't it? But yeah. That
No
works.
tea for the huntsman. He drinks the blood of his prey. And then that's it. Isolation's over. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
However long the harmonica solo was.
Inmates are doing boxercise at this very moment.
Right.
A couple of them are doing a drinking bet.
Right. They're in prison. I can see why the Daily Mail is angry at this. Because they're doing boxercise, right, to some funky beats. They've got a thermos full of booze.
Yeah.
Right. They're having a party.
Yeah.
Is that allowed?
Well, no, because it's his birthday. It's the sovereign's birthday. So he still gets a drink. And the booze is 85%. 85% what? What's the other 15%? Lighter fluid or something.
Engine
coolant from the generator is what they say.
Jesus.
I'll
have the 4X. I'll just have the 3X, please. I'd like to get my eyesight back in the next couple of days.
I was like, they could have shown him scooping it out of a toilet, like Pruno or whatever it is they make. Like, that would have been funnier, but no, future booze.
Is that not the French aniseed drink? Oh, no, that's Pernod.
Pernod. Pint of Pernod, please. Straight glass with a good head on it. Is this when we get the weird video that I genuinely had to pause and rewind? Because it shows the slate at the start.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
It's the Sovereign doing a video about his birthday.
Right, okay.
But there's someone at the slate at the start, and then it goes, action. And I was like, is that deliberate?
But I assume that's because he's sending a video, isn't he? He's like, and here's a special video on my birthday.
I tried to rewind, but I couldn't make out, because if it had, like, Space Slammer on the slate, I'd be like, is... But I think it was supposed to be. And he does this speech about how it's his birthday, and you can all have a party for one day.
Yeah,
for no reason.
And then he finishes, and it ends, and he's like, "That ought to take care of those SOBs."
Yeah,
or similar.
And Marai says, "I need a drink.
I need a drink. Space drink. Pan-galactic gargle blaster."
Well, at this point, in the party that's going on, we get bam, Bantor's back. He's got a bionic hand,
Luke Skywalker hand. Yeah.
Charles Dance's Flymo cock.
It's like, for a bionic hand, it looks an awfully like a rubber glove with some fucking cones stuck to the end. No expense.
It's a big hand as well. Like,
it looks like, it makes him look. Because it got a bit. I think he said something. It's like for the Dark Empire. I was like, is it going to go all Warhammery this at this point? No, it's not.
She insults him by calling him lefty, and I thought, oh, that's a bit on the fucking nose in 2024, isn't it?
It was 1983/4/8. Like, the insults are not very good.
How do you like it here in the can? How do you like being a can opener? And then he just throttles him.
Yeah.
Right, well, we're done with that then. He gets restrained by Krago, the hair dye situation with him is touch and go, and they make fun of it later on.
Mm-hmm. Again, that's the bit that made me laugh. I think that's part of his alien physique, is that he can change his hair colour at will. That's the fan fiction I've wrote in my head.
Cool.
And then he blows a raspberry as they leave as well.
The worst insult you can do in space prison. It's like giving the thumbs up in Korea or whatever it is, Or is it that in Thailand or something? Yeah, anyway, it looks like a bumhole, apparently.
Okay, sure. Yeah, listeners, Joe's just shown us his bumhole.
It looks like a bumhole, but it's not.
Dr. Poe, everyone doing sciencey things and explaining it to Bantor as though she's only just memorized the lines. The procedure for this new experiment is to sniff this white lacy thing and then get zapped at both eyes.
Yeah.
Go and take this knowledge to the warden, who's going to take it to the sovereign or something.
But
and then Bantor says to Mike, no, he wants Mike all to himself at nightfall.
Yeah.
So I was like, but it's a prison. You just do what you want whenever you want.
And it's in space. Yeah. So night doesn't really matter.
No.
Yeah. What's the concept of night here?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm assuming they have a cycle of day. Like, you can't be awake constantly. It's not like the Arctic Circle. Like, there has to be sleeping time. And I think the zombie thing that she made was one of the previous guards that got thingied. I didn't bother rewinding it to check, but on Erotic Planet, Mine Planet, Acid Mine, one of the two goons, I'm sure it's him again with a different mask on.
Right. Okay.
It makes sense.
Wouldn't surprise me.
No.
So Dr. Poe looks very much like she's just going to go and tell the other prisoners that something's about to go down. And then Bantor goes and confronts her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm just trying to concentrate on smoky conical flasks.
I'm just tipping this green liquid from one test tube to another test tube."
Science.
That's science. Yeah, that's right.
There was a lot of glassware, though, which I'm always a big fan of, like, just stuff bubbling for no reason.
I'm a big fan of her polystyrene like box filler thing that serves as like where all the conical flasks live.
Yeah. They borrowed them from a high school. We've got to give them back.
And then we're into the last half hour.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
a key point we've missed is that Squeaker is Mike's sister.
Sister, yes.
Yeah,
that's going to be important shortly.
It isn't. But
No, it isn't.
I thought it prevalent to mention it at this juncture.
We get nighttime. So nighttime does exist.
Night falls, yeah.
Mike gets chloroformed by a big hand in
Yeah.
the night. It's ZZ Top. He brings her back to Dr. Poe and he says, "Oh, now she'll do anything I say. Only if you bear the Sovereign's insignia." Oh, you wanted to do weird sex stuff, didn't you, ZZ Top? You dirty bastard. He gets waylaid by Warden Exene on his way out.
Yeah.
And that takes a turn.
Yeah, so she starts...
Edgar Winter does. Edgar Winter.
Yeah.
He's just walking down the corridor, minding his business, humming the theme to Frankenstein, you know. And then sexy Carol Vorderman just pops around the corner and goes, wink. Gives him a thumbs to that direction, and he's like, like,
this is where I've named him Kane from the WWE.
Yeah, it is a very after he took the full mask off and he wear the half mask. It is. Yeah.
And did you spot the music? It's the Bolero from Torval and Dean's Olympic Gold Run.
I was trying to place it.
Again, Nottingham facts, listeners. If anyone's got them, it's me.
Oh, he gave her a 6 inches. But again, like, so they're like doing the operation on Mike with the smell the glove, laser eyes, like, and like, Kane Winter is just biting Carol Vorderman's chest, which
and she's loving that. She's having a right time with that.
Yeah. Well, it's leathered, isn't she, as well?
How
She'll
could
have
we
a
make
constant
the sex scene all the more uncomfortable by having a weird whipping session between Krakow and Bantor at the same time?
Now, I didn't really know what this was about. Did either of you figure this out?
I forgot about this. I think I just blocked it out of my brain because I didn't like it.
So Bantor is going mad. He says that he goes all Shakespearean and says, "The air is thick with devils and disloyalty. There are demons all around us, and they take the form of women," which apparently means that he wants a homoerotic whipping session with Krakow slapping his ass as he talks about. I think he just repeats the word "purge" over and over again.
Yeah,
it's
but
weird.
He's just, oh mate, it was so bizarre because it's not a whip; it's like a bolus. It's like got like ends on it.
It's like one of them things for like slapping in the old time when they used to like slap mats and stuff like that to get the dust out of them as dust beaters. It's one of them, isn't it? But he's not overly concerned. Kragow's wearing a leather jacket and no shirt, so I don't think he was ever concerned about women in the first place, to be honest.
Kragow lives his own life. Right, but then
we get the ghost.
The sex scene bit happens, right? And that's fine. It cuts to that, and then Kragow goes off, and Force Ghost Johnny Legend appears.
Was he a Force Ghost? For some reason, I thought he'd come back. I just thought they'd forgotten he was dead.
No, because he's all grey. Well, he was kind of grey before, weren't he?
Yeah.
But I think he's supposed to be a ghost or a figment of his imagination.
Right. Okay.
But he just gives him a load of shit, doesn't he? I've come
for
my crystals.
Something about
he should have been in Monster Mash the movie. No, that's later on when he's on the. That's later on when he's on the ship. He repeats the quote now. Oh, does he? Sorry.
Yeah, that's how I know it so well. It just keeps going on about it.
So your new tattoo.
Space Ghost from Coast to Coast. And then morning scene. Inmates eating breakfast, wondering where Mike is. The goons, meanwhile, are worried about Bantor's mental health. So much so that Kragow's re-dyed his hair pink. One of the inmates gets stabbed by tacks that somebody's put on a chair, which everyone thinks is hilarious.
It is a timeless prank. But
I do declare it to be the jape of the season.
We're talking April, May, June, July, and August Fool. Yeah.
And a little alien pops out of someone's porridge and squirts water at him.
Stew worm. And it comes to nothing. I thought that might end up being a big monster at the end.
No, because the woman who gets sprayed in the face, she just goes, "There's some wacky nonsense going on here."
So she goes, "Oh, that's a bit silly, isn't it?"
And I was like, that's where you draw the line.
And then Mike comes in, all lobotomized.
It's hard to tell.
Warning Xena's pissed, even though she got her end away last night. She should be really laid back, I would have thought. But Squeaker protests at this. Her sister's lobotomized. Muffin comes out and says, hang on, we found 100 grams of self-raising flour in your bunk. Take her to the hole.
But I live on the top bunk.
That was a good line.
I
sleep on the top bunk. I was like, that's good. It's a fun line. Improv, that. 7 years in the groundlings, that lasts. Yeah. And then Tora's like, who did you set her up? And then it all just goes to shit at this point, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
Because as it turns out, Mike isn't lobotomized. It's again hard to tell.
I think Dr. Poe must have not done the procedure.
Oh, it never worked in the first place.
She says something along the lines of, looks like we didn't take enough of your brain. Well, okay, bitch.
Yeah. And then calls her a slag as well, or something.
There's other weird dialogue, like, your head in my closet. How about my fist in your face, bitch?
Because there's a bit where Vordas has got somebody's head in a closet, hasn't she? And then
does she?
when she's getting it on with Kane, there's a skull with her hat on, and some smoke comes out of its eye, and we don't know why.
I'll have one from the top and 5 from anywhere, please, sexy Carol. Then we get, I would say, the second best knife fight in cinema history. After Under Siege, obviously.
Including the knife that goes into the counter like it's made out of Fimo.
It's when they're holding him end to end and you can see the fucking blades wobbling like Billio. It's great. This knife fight is tremendous. But all the way through it, I like the fact that the little bald-headed cut guy is just stood there like, this is happening.
Great. He's the best thing in this.
Yeah.
The little bit he does during the standoff later.
Yes. Yeah.
He was up for an Oscar.
He was the Oscar.
Yeah, we get this knife fight. It goes on for way too long. There's a lot of come on, you bitch, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like,
spinning around, waltzing.
Parkour. Yeah. And then I kind of looked away for a second, and the next minute she's cut her hand off.
I also had to rewind here because I think it was so quick. I had to see how it actually happened. It's got an arm off,
but it's attached to a chain. Oh, she must.
Yeah, so there was a chain that.
But she was just holding on to that chain.
The chain did nothing for her.
She was just holding on to it.
Right. She cuts her hand off, and then we get a great all this blood squirting out at the end of it. I was like,
but then what do you do when you've got a chain with a hand on the end of it? Woo!
Well, you stab Muffins not once, not twice, but about 19 times. She stabs her. She's like, argh! And then she just whips it round, spraying hand juice all over Tora's face. And then they're like, "Now is our time to escape," because Muffins is dead. There's nothing stopping us now.
And it goes, right, well, let's do this sort of thing. Yeah. And then we get one of the best scenes in this.
Oh, absolutely.
Go on.
Shall I do it then?
Yeah, you built it up.
Everyone was so excited. So Krago is he shoots off and he's running, but obviously he's wearing bright pink. He could be spotted from from space as well as in space. That's what he's thinking about. And Marnie throws this plate. And it whizzes around, lodges in his head, and it takes a little while to register that this has happened, which I thought was good. And Marnie literally does a jump for joy at that point.
She literally goes, woohoo!
She does a Chun-Li celebration. Yes. Let's just say revenge is a plate best served cold.
Oh, very good.
We also missed the bit when Krago and Kane Goon are walking on, and he says, who dyes your hair? And he kind of touches his own hair, which I thought was quite a fun little, again, serves no purpose, but it was a fun bit. Yeah, so Krago has died of plate to the head. All the women are just running, sporadically round.
Mm-hmm.
There's no thinking. They're going to go to the armory block to get guns.
Yeah, why is that a thing in a prison?
Well, you'd have an armory room, I'm assuming,
so.
of, lasers and but... They go there,
which they go to, and just somehow get weapon. It's like in a game where you just run through a drop and then suddenly you've got the weapon.
Don't worry about it.
Ourselves montage like we've grown accustomed to. Dr. Poe is making a gas bomb in her lab right now, says Mike, and Tora says, "There's no time for that. I'll get it myself."
Yeah, you know how long gas bombs take to make.
I've made 3 gas bombs whilst we've been doing this podcast.
I was going to say I had a kebab yesterday, mate.
They get Marnie and Adrian to go and get a Mick Jagger rat while they'll go off to the armory as well.
Yeah.
No, it's not explained why, but it will pay off.
It eats through some glass.
Yeah. Squeaker was taken off before the hand knife fight happened. So they've got to go and rescue her from isolation / the punching room? Question mark.
Harmonica room.
Well, she says that when they go and rescue, she says, "I've been beaten up all day." Like,
and the overall plan is to get to the tube of Bantor's shuttles on the bottom layer. They're not so well equipped, but they fly like lightning, says Mike, who's clearly very taken with shuttles.
Yeah, she loves it.
And yet the little service cyborg gives them a little wave as they go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just, and when they all run out of the canteen and they turn around and he just goes, "Bye then." I'll write. I won't read it. The little shoebox droid thing has more lines here where it just goes, "The prisoners are escaping." And I'm like, who's that for? Like, and then that the klaxon goes, and a genuine klaxon goes off for the rest of the film.
Yeah.
Which annoyed me because I know it's meant to annoy you, but I don't need that. Flashing lights, They're running about. Chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Chapter 4.
Go on, it's your favourite.
Was it Prison Break 3000?
Yeah.
Which should have just been called Running Up and Down Corridors.
Yeah. I think it was this bit of the film. It took me like an hour to watch the last 20 minutes of this film. It was everything just goes wrong.
Yeah.
Every little bit of the scene just does not make sense. Dr. Poe retrieves some files from a polystyrene packaging that serves as a workbench. She runs into Bantor, who kidnaps her to take her to Inquisitor.
Yeah.
And then,
but not before putting her in a leotard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exene goes down to the canteen and sees the Butte service droid just sweeping up a corpse in an empty canteen.
There's very little meat in this corpse.
And then we meet the Inquisitor, Aldo Ray.
Yeah. Who is torturing the Doctor by exposing her to the Mysterons. I don't know what it's supposed to do. He's just firing
it's like a
green...
futuristic CAT scan or something, isn't it?
But just on her elbows and knees.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
No, her elbows and knees, and then a little there's like a robot version of the soup demon pops up between her legs, and I was like, oh, we're not going to get something gross, No, we don't.
No.
Unless you buy the extended cut. But yeah, he's going. He's doing like his spiel as the Inquisitor. This is the only line he's like, ha. He's the bone breaker, the corpse maker, the bed shaker. Inquisitor 13. Yeah, they're running about. Like they shoot some guards. Some of the guards disintegrate. Some of them just explode. Like some of them just die. Inconsistencies.
Is this where we get like a shootout in one of the corridors where nobody like runs for cover or anything? They just stand there and shoot. Both sets.
Oh, I think
both parties do that.
I think one of the guards shoots at Taurus, and she reacts way too late to the explosion behind her.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think we missed a bit where they rescue. So she rescues Dr. Poe, who spends like some moments trying to get her equilibrium back, and in that time, I think the Inquisitor. Exene turns up, Dr. Poe slams like something into the back of her head, which makes, instead of a metallic noise, makes her just a wooden noise.
It's my favourite bit of Foley noise ever.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's the pipe. It's when Tori hits one of the guards with the pipe and it goes clang like a fucking church bell. But it's tremendous.
You're right about this, James. It's meant to be like a little mini girder, isn't it? Yeah. And she swings it at his back and it just makes like a thud noise. Yeah, it's crap.
It's great. They go and rescue Squeaker, but one of, I think, the face-touching woman gets killed by a guard that's in the room. Which
is this where the door opens and then she just falls backwards?
Yeah,
and we've had the laser kind of put onto it. It just looks like shit.
Yeah. But then I think Tori shoots the guard. Or is this the Mexican standoff bit? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. It is that bit with weird...
Because they're all running around with these guns, but they've holstered them. Yeah, so they can do this shootout. Yeah. She shoots him in the head. Squeaker's free. Squeaker's annoyed at having been beat up all day. They run about a bit. They rescue the Doctor. The Doctor immediately gets choked out by Kane and dies. Tori shoots Evil Kane. Evil Kane dies. And she just looks back at the Doctor and goes, and walks off. Fuck it. Yeah, it's the future. They're all running about. There's a one particular sand guard who cannot be killed by conventional methods.
Yeah.
Well, Mike says, "Oh, hang on, I've got this one," and then bursts out into the corridor, and you think, "Oh, she's just going to shoot him," and then she just tries to stab him awkwardly with the pistol.
Well, the pistol did have like a knuckle duster built into it, but I'm like, just stick your hand out and go bang, 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 bang. Like,
yes.
Yeah. But again, how they're in prison for murdering people? Murdering must be really easy in the future.
This guard, for lack of anything else to do, grapples with her, and then all the other prisoners like come out and swarm him.
Jumps on his back. Then... She shoots him through the chest. That doesn't kill him. She shoots him through the face through the little slit in his visor. That doesn't kill him. And then one of the prisoners pulls a load of pipes out of his back and he dies. I was like, they were robots all along? What? No.
Pipes? They're steampunk robots. Yeah, so the plan is still to steal the shuttles. We're going to make like whores and blow the joints, this Mike.
Yeah.
Which is a line written by a man.
Yeah.
Squeaker's acting all hysterical now and running around with no upper body control, which I thought was really good.
The best bit was Mike lets go of her. She keeps going, and then she goes, "Oh shit!" and grabs her again and keeps going.
Yeah.
There's even more inmates following at this point. I've lost track of who was alive or dead.
Some of them have been killed, but I think they just reappear. Because I think on the ship, everyone's on the ships later. Because we get onto the ships, and they somehow manage to fly away and steal them.
Yeah, well, there's a few more encounters with Tora and this drug squad battering ram that she's got that she just rams into Goon. And every time she does, a little Jagger rat cackles for some reason. It's like, what is going on?
They've made friends. Fucking, you've got lasers. Why are you bashing people with melee weapons? It's bewildering.
They get through to this room which acts as the shuttle and laser defense turret room, which doubles as the bridge of the shuttles as well, which they enter twice for some reason.
I think there's 2 ships.
There's more than 2 ships. Because Warden Exene comes in later, and she gets the laser defense turrets because I don't know, a shuttle hadn't spawned at this point.
No, I think Bantor had 2 ships, and they steal 2 ships. I think the women leave on 2 ships separately. I think.
Okay,
it isn't very clear.
It's very unclear.
No, I'm lost, and I've only watched it an hour ago.
Yeah. But they're flying off. Then the laser turret activates, and we get some pew 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 pews. Some other fighter ships appear that are launched. Yeah. Where were these people? Who are these lads?
Why is Evil Crichton on one of them? Why has he not been introduced before?
Yeah.
He's got like a robotic head. I want to know more about him.
I want to know more about him.
There?
No.
What crimes had he committed that he got put in charge of this prison ship? No one's even leaning around like they do on Star Trek when they turn
at least Star Trek, we all go to one side. Yeah.
Evil Crichton gets deaded the next scene. I'm like, well, what was that about then?
We'll never know. He's, again, the most enigmatic character in film history.
The women at one point fight over the control of the shuttle guns and literally start rolling around on the floor, pummeling one another to shoot people.
Again, these women cannot work together.
They just revert to type.
Yeah.
And Tora goes, "It's going to be a long ride."
Wah, wah.
Yeah. Is this where, for some reason, Bantor has another ship that he gets on?
Yeah, so he gets into space, and he's got the tiny mutant service droid co-pilot in.
Yes, he has. Yeah, I guess there was nobody else.
I wanted more from that, please.
No, I wanted
what they're chatting about. Could there be a moment where, like, the tiny mutant droid just puts a cassette in, and then like Bantor just like slaps him down immediately?
I want them to shoot something, and for the little tiny mutant service droid to celebrate like Nien Nunb out of Star Wars, the fish face man. Yeah, that's what I want.
Him, like I said, to put his tape in, but it just be like the advertising jingles from Demolition Man. Like,
yes, that would be good.
The Green Giant.
Yeah, I love this one. Where is it? This is where we get like Bantor's excellent line of, "Is it only I can make you dead because I am not dead?" It's something incredibly bewilderingly confusing. And he looks so sweaty. It's like he's going through heroin withdrawal. Like, but he's on a ship now. They're flying about. The laser thing's shooting. For some reason, the warden explodes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Because I don't think it matters.
I don't think it does matter.
There's lots of rushing. There's lots of the same scene over and over again, and then like green lasers, and then
and the same explosion
flying out from thing happens about 4 times. But like, we could have took more time here to tell the story instead of that fucking harmonica solo, like that Kurt Russell Christmas film where they get all the E Street Band in for no reason. Yeah.
Bantor presses the time to die Tora button on his dashboard, but it doesn't work. Someone has removed the wire and replaced it with a Jagger rat, which leaps up to it.
I like to think it was the mutant service droid who's just had enough. He's like, if I can't listen to my stories.
He goes to choke it to death, but then he gets haunted by the space priest again.
Who's brought an actual key as well?
Yeah.
Well, it could have been a key. It looked a bit like a door hinge as well. Yeah, Force Ghost, and then he does the line again, and he just goes, demons! And then, like, we assume explodes.
He does explode. But
shit's exploding everywhere.
He's gone loose. And it's like, well, what? He's already in a space shuttle. Like, anyway, the inmates celebrate, and Tora says, I was right. That was one hell of a ride. What, you mean like 1 minute, 20 seconds ago when you said that?
Yeah.
And they approach a planet and they're like, let's go and get beer. Yeah.
And then Mike goes, beer? I need a man. And then she serves everyone a packet of roast ox crisps. And then we get what was it? They will return in
Chain Gang Planet or something.
I very nearly said something else. Yeah,
Planet of the Chain Gang people or something.
No, it's Chain Gang Planet, but and then credits. I didn't watch credits.
That's a damned album, isn't it? Krako's probably on it. Anyway.
Yeah.
It ends.
It ends. I didn't watch the credits because
Yeah.
I fucking couldn't give a shit at this point. I liked the first bit, up until like the last half hour. I was like, all right, it's women in space prison. That's fine. And then when they got to the escape bit, I was like, this is how I don't know what's happening now.
It's kind of like they went to shoot a porno, and then these are all the scenes in between all the sex scenes.
Oh, we forgot the bit as well, the gratuitous nudity, when Tora goes to the doctor's lab and just takes her top off and puts another top on for no reason whatsoever, just so we can get some boobies on screen. Like, I mean, James, you score?
I mean, it had bits that made me laugh at it. I was excited by the hovercraft at the start. That didn't really pay out. I'm going to give it 1 silver lucha.
Oh, okay. Plant his harsh thumbs down review.
This is up there with some of the worst stuff that we've seen. It was an absolute slog for me, this. I found nothing redeeming. It's not funny. It's not sexy. I couldn't even get a semi for Vordonatrix. It did nothing for me. 1 bronze armadillo rat. And it's lucky to get that.
Oh, I'm going 5 bronze sharpened plates to the back of the head. I don't think it's the worst thing we've ever fucking seen. Like, there was moments of redemption, but
it's got a couple of bits, but so little else.
It's not as fun as Dinosaur Island.
We've done Bone Alone, mate. I mean, come on, have some.
This fucking Lady Circus is the benchmark.
No, Lady Circus is the worst thing we've done. But all of the films, all of the Fred Olen Ray ones, are really lowly rated for me because they're there's nothing in them. There's nothing happening in them.
It makes me want to go back and retroactively give Dinosaur Island a higher score.
It makes me want to go back and give the Lady Terminator woman one a higher score.
Oh, Alienator.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we did rate that quite highly.
I did. It's that giant woman, isn't it? You know what I like.
It went on to solve crimes or something. That was madness.
Did she not actually become a bounty hunter, or did I imagine that?
No, there was a murder. It was like a cold case file that she solved.
Yeah, just
randomly
for fun. Yeah. Right, let's move on.
That was 1986's Star Slammer, also known as Prison Ship, also known as Adventures of Tora Part 1, also known as Star Slammer: The Escape. It was the same year as The Eliminators. That was the one where they had there was like a riverboat.
Oh, Robot Legs!
And that was RoboCop on tractors. Yeah,
that was way better.
Tasha Yar in a white shirt having a swim about.
Right. I could reach onto my DVD shelf here and pick out the copy of that I own.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Again, Eliminators was really good compared to the.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That bit when he went down the stairs and he nearly died.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, memories. Budget of $175,000, which is about $495,000 today, or £392,000, which is just enough to buy yourself the whip from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which was sold last year for about $350,000, possibly the most expensive whip in the world.
What?
Yeah. So
it's not even got any paddles on the end of it for demon aversion. No,
it's just a whip. I did look into whips as well. I've got a weird algorithm now.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Shopping. Written and directed by Fred Olen Ray, of course, of Dinosaur Island fame that we've done previously, and Alienator, 1989. His first film, though, was 1971's Demented Death Bar Massacre with John Carradine. But I thought it's worth. We've probably covered quite a lot of his films before, so I thought let's get up to date with it then. So his latest films are Royal Christmas Holiday, which is sort of like it's not Hallmark, but it's in the zone.
Adjacent,
sort of
yeah.
Dognapped, Hound for the Holidays, Piranha Woman,
Ooh.
and my favourite, and it is a short, but Moon Maidens. Although in hindsight, it's going to be just like this, isn't it? So I'll move on from him.
I'd like to believe it was Moon Maidens and there's some Moomins in there as well.
I was thinking we're maidens on the moon, but yeah.
I've not thought about that in a long time.
I know. Tora was played by Sandy Brooke, not a geological feature, but was in 11 films across the 1980s. Thank you. Including Deep Space, 1988. A spaceship with a hideous monster and an incredible appetite for human flesh crashes into Earth. Unsuspecting policeman Ian McLemore and Jerry Morris.
Jerry Morris is a tremendous name.
Investigate a wreckage. They discover several small pods, which they remove. End of synopsis.
Oh, man! I thought they were pea pods. That'd be fun. Just them eating pea pods.
She found a way out of being in films. In the late 20s, she said.
Found a way out like it was punishment.
It was for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't for her. I started on my own special event video business, Brook Video. Before I knew it, my company was doing 300 events a year, and there was no time or interest in acting. So yeah, she started her own video empire,
doing video weddings, bar mitzvahs, that sort of shit.
Mr. Video.
No, I thought it was like a Blockbuster Light sort of thing. I don't know how that panned out.
Yeah, I hope it worked out for her.
Yeah. So that's how so she escaped this. Because the thing is that the people that are in these films just turn up in the same sorts of films over and over again. So we'll move on to, Bantor was Ross Hagen. We've come across him before. He was Cole in Alienator. So the evil one that was chasing them down. And he was also one of the men in Dinosaur Island, so one of the military men that sort of wash up on shore. He's also in Supercock, 1975.
Who's the cock that can't be stopped?
That on their bingo card.
I'm going to say, I hope it's about a superpowered chicken, but I don't think it's going to be, is it?
And Fugitive Rage, 1996. I don't know what it is about 1996 films that have rage in the title.
It was all the rage.
Yeah. So Mirai, who was there next to the Sovereign, that was Bobby Brissi. She's known as a Scream Queen. She was famous for appearing in the 1983 horror film Mausoleum, which I've not watched.
No.
But I think it was like a sort of landmark horror film, and that was delayed release and everything. And she was also in the first Ghoulies film and an evil alien in Evil Spawn, 1987.
I mean, I can't wait for that Supercock and the Ghoulies crossover.
She said, someone once asked me, how would you like to spend the rest of your life in horror? I thought that would be wonderful. I would do it in a heartbeat. That's where I got my break, and there is an allegiance, and I would stick with it. Vincent Price didn't do badly out of it. I feel I have a bit of following in the genre, and I don't want to lose that. It is wonderful. I could get old, and it wouldn't matter. I'd just get ugly and be a character. So she's in tons of stuff.
That last line is how I live my life.
The Inquisitor, Aldo Ray, was big name Hollywood actor from the 50s who appeared in main roles such as Marion Kind, Pat and Mike. They've all got like old-timey sort of posters, which are nice. He earned a Golden Globe from that last one. Originally, he was from an Italian-American family, and his surname was DeRay. And Harry Cohen of Columbia Pictures noticed that this was similar to the word dare, inspiring him to suggest that he change his name to John Harrison instead. So
I don't think any of us saw
that's
that
a fucking 3-2-1 finale, that one, isn't it?
I knew you'd like that. So they suggested Ray as a compromise. So Aldo Ray. His career had already started to tank by the 70s. In 1979, he appeared in the pornographic film Sweet Savage in a non-adult role, which marked a full breach with his earlier career. I looked up Sweet Savage on Wikipedia, and it's noted as being one of the few pornographic films in the American Western movie genre. So that's something. He said something like, they just asked me to do a day in Los Angeles, and I wasn't near any of the sex scenes, and they just put that in later. So
cowboy porn.
Yes.
Sweet Savage.
Sweet Savages. With it being Sweet Savage,
yeah,
it makes
I got
me
a feeling
feel
it's going to get a bit Custer's revengey. Yeah.
It feels like it's got notoriety for the wrong reason. But yeah.
I'm not going to hunt it down.
No, I'm not.
It is an underrepresented genre, I feel. Apart from Brokeback Mountain.
That film led to him losing big roles, such as the part of Gurney Halleck in Dune, which went to Patrick Stewart instead.
He was alternate timeline.
Yeah. So he was snapped up by Fred Olen Ray for B movies by the 80s, and he recalled that Fred Olen Ray would give him about $1,000 in cash, pay his expenses, and he'd do a day's work, which he clearly did here. Somebody showed me one of his cassettes starring Aldo Ray, but it was just a one-day job. I needed money at the time, and Fred knew that I needed a book, so I did it. He exploited me, yeah, but I was right for it. So his last film was Shock 'em Dead.
Tragic now, yeah.
Yeah, it is quite a tragic story. I think he died of cancer in 91, but as he did so, Shock 'em Dead came out, which is about a total loser who makes a deal with the devil via a voodoo woman to become the greatest rock star in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, add it to the
list. As directed by Fred Olen Ray.
Yeah.
It's voodoo not, lady. But it's a similar sort of person. I'll finish with Zal the Priest, Johnny Legend.
Johnny Legend.
To be confused with John Legend.
Absolute legend.
Yeah. He's an American rockabilly musician, film producer, actor, and wrestling manager. I'm fascinated by him.
Yeah.
He's known as the Rockabilly Rasputin, and his real name is Martin Margulies, I believe. And he apparently made a spoof version of My Dinner with Andre with comedian Andy Kaufman.
Of course. Yeah, no, that's the Dinner with Bassie, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That's referenced
Breakfast with Bassie.
Yeah, that's referenced in Man on the Moon by R.E.M.
Yeah. Which he also appears in. So the Jim Carrey film,
not the song,
Man on the Moon.
Very quietly during the guitar solo, just him going, "The Mind Asylum."
He's
fucking Emo Phillips now, isn't it? It's all gone off.
All right.
According to the Independent last year, John Legend, the other John Legend, revealed that he had to negotiate a deal with Johnny Legend so that they could both use the name. So he's John Legend, and he's very clearly Johnny Legend.
Get out! I wonder how much money Johnny got for that. That's great.
Too much. He's listed in that article as being a porn producer. So that's another element. It's another string to his bow.
Wow.
He started a psychobilly wrestling thing called Incredibly Strange Wrestling in 1995. Among other things, it featured a Scientologist boy band that would provoke the crowd with pop songs about Dianetics. And it featured such novelty.
This is right in my wheelhouse.
It featured novelty matches such as a gigantic paedophile against a teenage boy.
I thought Kaiju Big Battle was as bad as it got. Fucking hell.
He's got 2 albums listed on Spotify. 1992's The Rolling Rock Records. It's a fall song, isn't it? And I Itch.
Me too, Johnny. Me too.
I'm going to have to put them down as well, though, because if it's him singing... If it's him singing... I like rockabilly. If it's him singing like that, though, that's, on board 100%.
Yeah.
Your own asylum.
Going to the drive-in. Yes.
329 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Well, that's going to get one more tomorrow.
Yes. To be honest, I don't pay much attention to things like monthly listeners, but partly because I'd have to focus on the monthly listeners for this podcast. But also, his listenership is probably pre-Spotify, mostly anyway. He's also a character in a novel called Death Trap at La Puente by somebody called Dr. Hermeister Barrington,
Fuck off!
which is a self-published book from the looks of it, which has its own GeoCities. So that's nice.
Have we fallen into
What is happening?
into Teratome or something?
Oh my god, am I asleep?
This is true Garth Marenghi stuff. This.
And his latest film is the film Catch of the Day 2014, where he appears as Merlin Thundercock. I'm not making this up.
Isn't that the name thing he gives? That's Marvin Eaglecock, isn't it?
Yeah, Murder and Success.
I thought you said your name was Marvin. Yeah.
Officer Rod Davis becomes embedded undercover when a cartel starts bringing drugs into the city through fish shipments. He soon finds himself and his city under siege when a scientist accidentally creates mutant fish people with a poisonous bite. It's up to the rookie cop and a sexy lab assistant to find the drug stash and destroy the crime lord controlling the mutant monsters. But it turns personal when Rod's sister is kidnapped. Are they fighting giant mutant fish monsters just for the halibut? I swear to God, I haven't made that up.
All right, I thought that was one of yours.
Generator is.
Oh, wow.
He said, the way I see my career is, if I'd only concentrated on one field, I would have probably screwed it up. Things only make sense when I go in every direction at once.
Yeah, that's a good approach. Yeah, like traveling, just every direction simultaneously. I'm still loving the Dianetics themed boy band.
And thus, James Fax is whipped into oblivion for another day.
As you can probably understand, this has one of those weird cult following things, and therefore the reviews for it are either this is the best film I've ever seen or this is dog shit. But I did find one that just made me laugh because, well, you'll see. 5 the Hard Way, 5 out of 10 by Smitty128. C. John Carradine in a cameo even more pointless than the one from Ice Pirates.
Ooh.
There you go. C. Footage from Dark Star and Battle Beyond the Stars repeatedly incorporated into the proceedings. And don't see any TNA beyond the lovely Miss Brooks 2, just 2 topless shots. That was the bit that made me laugh. He's angry. That, yep, it's a women in prison flick, in space no less, that doesn't work in the communal shower or the kinky pecking order or any degrading initiation rites. What a shame. What a shame indeed. Mate.
There were initiation rites, though.
Yeah, punchy face stroke. Yeah. I think he was wanting we on each other or something, probably. You know, Smitty's. At least Ross Hagen's in it, wearing Jared Sin's old body armor. And I got a kick out of the episode titles. A junky below B movie that gives its self-dramatic structure. Now, how often do you see that? About as often as promised.
On this podcast.
Yeah. About as often as promised, but undelivered sequels, which is to say, often enough. See the continuing adventures of Tora in Chain Gang Planet.
Now, you see, with Tales of an Ancient Empire, sometimes it's just not worth going back.
No. I don't know. I'm never going to watch this again. But
no.
Oh, no, absolutely.
If someone did do a crowdfunded Chain Gang Planet and got these people in as cameos, I'd give it a whirl. I'd chuck them a tenner.
Yeah, to be in the credits.
Any money, but I would definitely
be in it.
On this.
I want to be new cyborg mutant, son of cyborg mutant. Yeah,
I want to be Merlin Thundercock.
Thought you said your name was Marvin. That's it. In conclusion, that was 1986's Star Slammers: The Escape / Prison Ship / Prisoner Cell Block H in space. What was the ITV one? Was it called Bad Slags? No, that's not a real thing, is it?
Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah. Bad Girls.
Bad Girls. Oh, I was close.
Bad Slags.
I mean, your favourite quote from the film?
Muff alert.
Damn it, yeah.
But I'm on the top bunk.
Also, I forgot this one, but here's where those space sluts get theirs.
I've been grinding it down every chance I get.
My name is Tora, and you can all kiss my ass.
Let's make like whores and blow this joint.
Jesus.
Let's get to the seat of the problem.
Yes. Drink up, drink up. Hell is at your party. Say goodbye, boys and girls.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Cassius could truly be said as a man who made both ends meet. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't get it.